But for me to shift and change and tweak things, and these are regular foods, foods that you like, cook them how you want to cook them. Sometimes I do make recommendations in eating, raw versus cooked with the warming and the cooling. But there's nothing off limits. There's nothing that says, oh, you can't eat this ever. This is bad for you or whatever. No. Shift and change what you're eating, how you're eating to align with your hormonal cycle. That's how you can support it in being regular. That's how you can support the production and maintenance of hormones overall. Just gently, easily, daily. Hey there, welcome to the Female Health Solution podcast, where we discuss women's health, hormones, and everything else in between. Join me as we dive into the tools that you need to live your healthiest life. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the Female Health Solution podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Beth Westy. Now we're going to talk about PCOS. Some of the worst things that I personally experienced with PCOS and how I have not had a cyst in almost a decade and a half. Yeah. Yes. This is absolutely possible. It is not just easy, doesn't happen overnight, but there's absolutely things you can do on a day-to-day basis to improve your overall hormonal balance so that your system does not respond in a really negative fashion by creating cysts. So let's talk about it. How did I do this? How did this happen, right? First off, the reason I got PCOS, I think, is actually related to a lot of stress. Are there other factors at play that led me down this path? Absolutely. Quick, brief history. And again, this can be, related to you as well. This might not be your story at all, but just so you know where I'm coming from. I am someone who I was on the pill for like almost 10 years, about a decade. Yeah. Yep. Just thought there wasn't anything wrong with it. Everybody was doing it. Everybody, which is not an excuse, I know. And what I know now, I would never, right? But that's what it was. So I was on hormonal birth control, the pill, for a very long time. And then I started having issues with it. And then I got pregnant. Yep. Was still on it. In fact, when I got pregnant, when I say I had issues, I started having like 2 or 3 periods a month. And I say periods with air quotes because I was just having bleeding. I didn't know if I was actually ovulating or not, or what was happening. It was the same one. I took it at the same time. I'd been doing it for almost 10 years. I wasn't doing anything different, right? Something in my body changed. What actually changed, and again, a little bit more of a backstory, was that I actually changed my nutrition. I went gluten-free. Yeah. And this was while I was in grad school. I had just started grad school and I started learning a lot more about actual nutrition. I started taking really in-depth nutrition classes from a naturopath. This is like the stuff I was learning was blowing my mind. I started learning about Eastern medicine and all of these things. I started implementing and applying all that information, and my body kind of went kazoo a little bit. Looking back on it, I don't think in a bad way, but I just didn't really know what was going on at the time because it was so different, but I was really fueling my body differently, decreasing inflammation and cutting out gluten. So I was no longer anemic and my hormones started to come back online, and then I got pregnant. Went through my first pregnancy, birth, all the things, breastfed, da 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 da. I had some thyroid issues and stuff too. Also, that's part of my personal history. Um, and then when my son was about 16 months old, maybe, yeah, yep, I think that's about right. If I'm doing the math right, I got pregnant again. Had my second child. Okay. Then when she was about a year and a half, I got pregnant again, right? Third child. So I gave birth and had children 3 times in the span of, so 2006, 2008, 2010. So 4 or 5 years, right? I had 3 kids. A lot of stress going through grad school, midterms, finals, boards, all the things. Started a business, just a lot of stress in my life. Wasn't sleeping well, right? And my youngest was a preemie. She was in the NICU for 23 days. Yep. Because she was almost 2 months early due to other complications. And I still had thyroid issues after that one. And it wasn't too long after she was born that I started getting cysts. I'm telling you all that background information because I don't think the cysts came out of nowhere. I didn't have cysts before, but I also, and I don't want to say I ate really unhealthy. Ate what I thought was healthy ish, right? I was an athlete. I, played volleyball in college, a high level of volleyball. I did not eat garbage. In fact, we weren't allowed to eat certain things, especially during season. We had coaches come around and look at our trays during lunchtime and dinner time. I know that's a whole other podcast too. The mind games that it plays with you. But I wasn't eating unhealthy. So I thought I was eating healthy. I thought I was doing good. I was very active, right? What the heck was going on that that all this stuff happened, right? And I didn't have cysts before, but maybe the reason was because I was on the pill for so long until my body started to get a lot healthier. Who knows, right? I don't know why, but I do know that stress was a huge piece of it at that point in time. The hormonal shift and change in my system, the way I was eating differently, and all that stuff. I started getting cysts. The cysts were really bad. When I say really bad, the pain that I had was unlike anything else, right? Like I've broken fingers playing volleyball, blocking, right? I've had a ball come at my finger. I mean, not just jamming a finger, but broken fingers, right? I don't know if you can even tell on the video, but my one, like, I can't straighten some of my fingers all the way. I have really fat knuckles. It's just, it comes along with the territory, right? I had 3 C-sections. I've had, I have pins in my right foot. I had a knee surgery in college. I've had my wisdom teeth out. I've had all these other major things happen, right? That's to say nothing was as painful as those cysts. That's what would literally take me down and out. I've played through a lot of pain. I've worked through a lot of pain and still functioned. But that pain, absolutely not. That was the worst part of it. Like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move when the cysts would burst. I would sweat and get really nauseous. And I only think I threw up maybe once or twice. But still, that painful, that much of a pain shock on your body, it's almost indescribable if you haven't ever experienced something like that. And how it comes from like the inside and almost radiates out everywhere. That was the worst part of it. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. I have to get to the bottom of this. Trying to come up with a solution, though, trying to find the answers to it was also just as frustrating as putting up with those awful cysts. The practitioners were like, yeah, it's a cyst. Oh, you had a cyst burst. Oh, you have a bunch of fluid now in your abdomen. Yeah, your body will take care of it. And yet the entire time I would feel like garbage trying to process all that inflammation. Garbage. Not getting answers, being told to just go on the pill, all of that stuff. Frustrating isn't even the right word. I just couldn't believe that this was reality, that nobody had any other answers for me, that nobody had any other suggestions or helpful things to say or do. And I was like, I'm trying to do all this stuff, eat healthy, take supplements, all these things. And again, I wasn't doing anything bad. It was just what I was doing wasn't targeting what was going on in my system. It wasn't until I really started eating for my hormones and my cycle. This is what I teach women how to do. In fact, I just had somebody comment, oh my gosh, I think um, I'm gonna bring it up in the group that I have right now. Right now, we are doing a challenge, and it's actually kind of amazing because um, I want to read this to you. People are talking about having. I love this. Um, Magic is happening, waking up, no bloat, feeling out so much better overnight, all that stuff. It's fantastic. Having it help with like hot flashes, things like that. And the warming piece of things. When I say that I teach women how to eat for the hormones and cycle, warming and cooling aligned with estrogen and progesterone, it makes a huge difference overall. That's what helps your system find regulation and everything else. Now, is it all the answers for everything? No, but it is something that you can do to get started right now with taking charge of your hormones instead of letting them run amok everywhere, right? Eating for the warming and cooling. That's what we do in this program. That's what I teach you. It's not hard to do. It's just being aware, paying attention, and shifting kind of what you're doing. And I am a busy mom of three, and this is how I eat and we eat as a family. And it's really easy for me to shift and change what I'm eating, how I'm eating for myself, and not really have it impact my family negatively. It doesn't really do anything for my husband if he's eating warming or cooling because he doesn't have those underlying hormones there overall. But for me to shift and change and tweak things, and these are regular foods, foods that you like, cook them how you want to cook them. Sometimes I do make recommendations in eating, raw versus cooked with the warming and the cooling. But there's nothing off limits. There's nothing that says, oh, you can't eat this ever. This is bad for you or whatever. No. Shift and change what you're eating, how you're eating to align with your hormonal cycle. That's how you can support it in being regular. That's how you can support the production and maintenance of hormones overall. Just gently, easily, daily. Yeah. With other major issues, it can be really helpful to deep dive into doing a hormonal detox, if that's right. What do we do for that? How do we know how to do that? We look at your Dutch test. We look at your Dutch test and understand what your hormones are doing specifically. Without knowing that, you can throw stuff at your system that isn't really the right thing. And I did that for a long time. I did that for years. I did that for way too long. Right? Trying this, that, and the other and not getting any results. And I'll be honest, I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on things that got me zero return because I didn't know what I was targeting. I didn't know what was going on specifically. So to target specifically for you, we do a Dutch test. That way we're not guessing. You're not wasting thousands of dollars trying to chase something down, hoping that it just works, right? We test, we apply specific things that are designed and tailored to you. And then oftentimes we'll even retest in the future just to make sure. There are some gals who are like, nope, I am good to go. Things have regulated. I feel amazing. This is awesome. Thank you. Right? But that's the biggest thing overall when we're looking at working with your hormones and not just hoping that things get better or wondering what is wrong with you. No, there's something in how your body's functioning that's missing. We support that through nutrition and through customized recommendations. The customized recommendations come from doing a Dutch test. The specific nutrition recommendations and guidance that you get, we do that in the program and it's all rolled into one. So if you have been stuck, frustrated, dealing with things, struggling with PCOS, wondering how to get ahead and stay ahead of it, this is the program for you. It is a group program, right? You will be connected with other women, but we work with you one-on-one in it. There's nothing else really like it out there where you get this individualized attention, but still have the support of other people who are struggling just like you. So you're not alone. And again, I know exactly how hard this can be on not only your body and your health, your mental capacity, your family, people around you, your work. Every aspect of my life suffered when I was experiencing these cysts. And it made every day, every week, every month, just kind of continuing on with life that much harder. And I literally can't even imagine going back to that because I've been so long without it. And all I do is continue to do things to support my hormonal health day in, day out, easy things that aren't difficult to maintain, and make sure I manage my stress levels. No matter what your health history is, and I know I shared some stuff for me personally, you might not have all of that. You might have more things that you've been through. That's not the point. The point is that the body has this amazing ability to shift, to change, to improve. We just have to know exactly what's going on and the right path to take for you. That's what we do, and we give you the guidance every step of the way. So make sure you do not hesitate. We are registering now. You do not want to miss out. Now is the time. Now is the time. Otherwise, if you don't do anything different, nothing is going to change for you. We have everything laid out for you, so you will be supported 100% the entire time. But if you have any questions or concerns, or just, you want to have a conversation, don't hesitate to reach out. But if you're ready to get started, use the link here get started, and I can't wait to see you on this journey. All right. That's what I got for you guys today. Please let me know if you need anything else. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. If you would like more information, just head on over to drbethwesty.com for all the show notes and information from today's episode. And if you're looking for more community, more support, you can find and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and I would love to see you there.